An hour's drive from the northern tip of Coromandel, you'll find a tiny post office run by volunteers. As rural post services shrink, the small community here, population about 1,500, has taken things into its own hands to ensure the old motto, "the mail must get through." Producer Sally Round called in to meet volunteer Peter Sander and found others there doing some DIY work too.
Lots of noise going on in there, Peter.
Yeah, we've got a couple of volunteers in there doing some of the maintenance. The front door was jamming and with a bit of wet weather, and they're here sanding the bottom off, so that works, saving a few dollars.
When did the Colville post office become a volunteer-run post office?
1992 it became an incorporated society. 1986 it was a normal post office, and they decided they were going to close it down, the post office, and the local people thought, hey, hang on, because they started it right back in 1896. Started with telecommunications, and then later on they wanted 3 times a week mail delivery because there was a lot of gold mining and farming done in the area, quite a big population. Yeah, that's where it started, and the community's quite strong, and they built the post office. I think the post office gave them £100 towards building it. Community did the rest. They milled some kauri trees from the neighbouring station here, White Star Station, and they've got a paddock there that's named the post office paddock, and it's after the kauri tree that came from there, and they milled it. Used a pit saw to cut all the timber up and carried it all here, all volunteer work, and the community raised any necessary money to build it.
Was it ever staffed by official post office workers?
Yeah, it was, right up until they closed it down in 1986. They decided they're going to close it down. They came in and took all their post office furnishings and stuff out of there, and yeah, it was even a bank.
And was it hard to get the community involved to take it over and run it as a volunteer service?
No, not really. It's what happens up here. People are right into doing it their way. Yeah,
they had to refurnish the place, did they?
Yeah, they did. The post office left the post office boxes there, and and they collect the revenue from those and the rural delivery fee.
And what was left?
Nothing.
Apart from the post
they
office.
left a set of salter scales. Yeah, we've even got a real old antique balance scale in there as well, and a big old safe, and so the big old safe was left there. I guess it was too heavy to cart away. Yeah, wow, look at this new door. Can't believe it.
That's smart. What was there before?
A wooden door that jammed and you couldn't open and shut. A big old safe. You couldn't move that.
No one could
hurry.
move that. And people come and stand behind that bench there. You serve them.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we serve the people, don't we, Cherie? Cherie is one of our volunteers as well. Sometimes we might only get 1 or 2 customers in a day to sell something, buying stamps or whatever, but that's okay. We sell fridge magnets and a few mugs that have got a picture of the post office on them. They're quite popular. That gives us a little bit more income, which is handy.
And you've got postcards of Colville and the beaches.
Yeah, these are postcards actually made by people in the community.
Do you get many tourists coming in for a look?
We do. They come in and read the information, sign the visitor's book, and they can't believe what we do here. We show them the old scales, and we used to have a thing here saying what to do if you get held up with a gun, from the old days. That was quite a hard case. Yeah, what to do in the event of armed hold-up.
That's a very vintage little sign, isn't it? And it's still there.
Still there, yeah.
What do you do? Well, there's something to read.
Yeah.
We won't give the game away.
It was the old telephone box. They had a telephone exchange here as well. Yes.
And that's just a place to store parcels now.
Yeah, we store the parcels in there now. Yeah, lovely door, isn't it? The old solid carry door with the brass hardware on it.
Have you found any interesting artefacts as you've been serving here?
Yeah, I did. I was tidying up a shelf and I found a New Zealand flag. And I thought, wow, we've got a flagpole. And I did my time in the armed services, and the flag was pretty important to us, raising it every day and lowering it. So I thought, yeah, why aren't we flying the flag? So I hung the flag up, and one of the older ladies who used to look after the place says, "Why is the flag flying? Who died?" I says, "No one." Why? He says, "Oh, that only gets flown when somebody's died. We better get it down quick." Yeah, I've never hung it up again since that was the end of the flag.
What sort of post are people getting up here? Is it all sorts?
Oh yeah, all their mail, all their bills and packages. Do have one or two commercial businesses, and they use it for shipping honey products. Up here is famous for our Manuka honey, and there's a lot of beekeepers, they use it. Big boxes of stuff turn up. Yeah.
Tell me how the volunteer service runs. Do you get some training to do this?
Not really, it's just on the job. You come in and the RD people, the van comes in and drops off all the parcels for this top end of the peninsula. So we sort all that, and we put a ticket in their post office box, let them know there's a parcel in there. We sort the mail. For a lot of the peninsula is not on the mail delivery. And we've also got a whole lot of post boxes inside that are counter boxes, I suppose you call them, and where people who are only here for a short time can get a box and their mail is delivered there, and they can come in and collect it.
So let me get this right, the rural mail delivery doesn't go beyond Colville? Is that why you need the post office?
It does, but it doesn't do a lot of the roads, side roads. Yeah, they do a good delivery service up here with just the mail, and a few people want a parcel picked up from the chemist or whatever, they bring it up. But because the system now is everything's tracked and all electronic, we do that, and we got to scan it all and track it through, and we get a dividend back from the post office for doing that, and we get 10% of the stamp sales, and so that's our income. We get about $1,000 a year or something, which is enough to buy a can of paint occasionally. And people will come and give a nice donation for us to hold their mail for them, because they've gone away for a month or so they might put 10 or 20 bucks in the donation box for us to do that, and that's how community works, isn't it?
And any works that need doing, that's all volunteer done too?
It is, yeah. All the grass around here is all volunteer, hand mowed by volunteers. The community runs on volunteers, it's amazing. Yeah, all the trap lines and, yeah.
What would happen if you didn't have this post office here? What would people be missing out on?
Safekeeping for their parcels, otherwise they'd be getting dropped off on the corner of their road somewhere. 3 days a week we're here on Monday, Wednesday and Friday, open from 10 till around about 2 o'clock, sometimes 3 o'clock on a Friday. Even if it's public holidays, we go out of our way to still get the 3 days a week in. So yeah, it's pretty good service. They come to town to do their shopping, and that's all run by volunteers, the local shop here as well. Do
you find you end up having long chats over the counter?
Oh, great, especially in the history of the place, and who's who, because a lot of people have got, say, 3 different names, which is quite unusual. Yeah, you're kind of trying to work out who's this letter for, and they say, oh, yeah, that's so-and-so, It might come addressed to Mike the man, and someone knows who that is, or, it's quite a hard case at times.
The mail always gets through?
Always, yeah. I got one of my own returned, went to Masterton, and I put the wrong box number on it, and it got returned to me. I thought, wow, that would never happen at Colville. We know who's who, and if it's addressed wrong, still gets to them,
Being so remote, it's also possibly a point of contact when in times of trouble, that sort of thing, would you say?
Yeah, it is, definitely. Yeah, everyone knows what's going on, and they go out and help each other. It's a brilliant community.
Do you think you'll always have a good number of people willing to volunteer and staff the office?
I hope so. I think it's going to carry on. Yeah. Got it sorted, the finances and everything. It's not just the volunteers who stand at the counter. We've got a committee behind that again that do the sort of the finances out, and have an annual general meeting and all that performance for the incorporated society. Yeah.
And what would you say to other small communities who may have lost a service like this?
Yeah, get stuck in and go for it. Do it. It's possible. We've shown you, we've done it here, and it's worthwhile, and don't let them bully you around.
Peter Sander, one of the volunteers at the Colville Post Office in Coromandel, talking to Sally Round.